Is Stephen Greer a crook? Okay, this is fascinating information brought to us by Tim McMillan. If you don't know who that is, he's the founder of The Debrief, former police lieutenant, very credible guy, very well respected. And this is from a series of tweets that he unleashed in February, but as valid as ever, talking about Stephen Greer and whether or not he has committed some sort of fraud against the government. This is pretty major, and I believe every word of Tim McMillan's reporting. That doesn't mean that Stephen Greer actually did commit fraud, only that he did report the numbers in this specific way. You tell me, is that fraud or is that totally legit? Before I dive into it, please hit like, please subscribe, share in social media, and as I'm going through it, please comment below and let me know what you think. By the way, if my voice sounds a little scratchy, I've been feeling under the weather the last couple of days. Don't worry, I'm fine, but just wanted to let you know. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is from the Twitter feed of Tim McMillan, and he has got some scathing things to say about our favorite ufologist, Stephen Greer. Okay, let's dive into it. Here he goes. This is quoting Tim, and I'm just going to read his tweets. Thread, people often ask my thoughts on Dr. Stephen Greer. Let's just say I have some questions, not with his claims about the government and disclosure. Rather, I have some questions about his own disclosures to the federal government. Let's take a look. Here are the 2010 financial disclosures for Greer's now defunct CSETI, which, it's vital to note, was a 501 nonprofit, a tax-shielded legal entity organized and operated for a collective, public or social benefit, and not aiming to make a profit for owners. According to filings from 2006 to 2010, CSETI brought in $2.2 million. Interestingly, almost a third of that was from lump sum gifts by a disqualified persons, meaning someone in a position to exercise substantial influence over the affairs of CSETI. Who that was is a mystery. My first suspect was Bigelow, but I checked, and of course Bigelow is Bob Bigelow, the former owner of Skinwalker Ranch and the founder of E.T.s, among other things. But I checked, and Bigelow says, hell no, it was Greer himself. He dumped I assume that's $710,000 of his own money into a tax shield he was running that could be problematic, which I'll explain why in a moment. According to filings, in 2009, CSETI made $344,000 on training/workshops. Meanwhile, the out-of-pocket expenses for said workshops was only $31,000. A 900% profit is one hell of a payoff. No kidding. Where can I sign up to invest in Greer? But hey, it's a not-for-profit and public benefit, right? Sure, sounds like not-for-profit. Tim McMillan further says an extra $300,000 almost was spent on fees and services, advertising, office expenses, travel, and a curious $153,000 on other. According to the same form that was filed out on a legally binding form by Greer or his legal designee, Greer only worked on average 25 hours a week with CSETI. Far as I can tell, there weren't any employees since there's no salary disclosures. Instead, just a bunch of directors. How's that saying go? Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. Either way, CSETI seemed to be one hell of a good part-time gig. No kidding. So where was all the money going? I mean, if they're making a 900% profit on workshops and nobody is disclosing salaries, where is all that not-for-profit, public benefit money going? Oh, wait, here we go. A for-profit management company in Nevada. Nevada. Fair enough, I guess. I mean, Greer is only working on average 25 hours a week, so somebody has to manage the day-to-day operations of this nonprofit that's raked in $2.2 million. So who exactly is Crossing Point, and why is a Nevada company managing NC nonprofit? It looks like Crossing Point is equally defunct, so I guess they weren't that great at business management. But who exactly was Crossing Point? Well, it seems to have only had one employee who acted as president, secretary, treasurer, and director. Guess who? That's all Tim had to say about Stephen Greer and his finances. But for me, it is enough to say, at the very least, there's some shady stuff going on in the world of Stephen Greer, which, should surprise nobody, really. But it is very telling, I think, in his character. This is the man, after all, who has accused Lou Elizondo and others of being fakes and disinformation agents. Meanwhile, Stephen Greer himself is the one committing unethical seeming acts. Again, I'm no lawyer or police officer, so I am not making any legal accusations. Important to note. Also, it is widely reported that there is at least one incident in Greer's CE5 initiatives where he seemingly took credit for UFOs that were actually flares. And some have been using that to try to call all of his CE5 initiatives into question. Lou Elizondo himself has used that against Stephen Greer. And why not? It's great ammunition. It seems like it really did happen, where there was a group that Stephen Greer took out to see, they were going to summon some UFOs, saw some lights in the sky that Stephen said, oh, those are UFOs. Later, it turned out those were actually flares. At least that's the story I heard. If you have a different version of events, let me know in the comments below. However, I do tend to believe it. Stephen Greer is not above claiming credit for something that he did not do himself, in my opinion. But I do not place his ethical standards in high regard. That said, I do want to say that I have a lot of faith in his actual CE5 stuff. I believe he does truly have an affinity with the phenomenon and an ability to interact with it and to allow others to interact with it as well. That's the frustrating thing about Stephen Greer, is that he does have positives to compete against his many negatives. He has so many positives, I almost want to give him a pass, because in the past he truly has been a credit to the UFO community. And I think that the CE5 initiative itself, which he helped popularize, is going to turn out to be very important. In fact, I'm considering doing a video on just that subject. So I'm reluctant to completely tar and feather Stephen Greer, who I think has done a lot of good, not just with his CE5 initiative, but also his disclosure efforts have been very impressive and I think have made an impact. But at this point, Stephen Greer relentlessly attacking the people actually bringing about some form of disclosure, I think is doing more harm than good. And he has become a liability instead of a credit to the cause. Also, I think he's probably an alien-human hybrid. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, comment below. Let me know what you think. Is Stephen Greer a crook? Is he an alien-human hybrid? Is he on the level and doing good stuff for the community? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you do, the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. Until next time, Cosmic Road out.